Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on your time zone. How are we all doing today? Please, I would like for us to start and drop a very quick introduction about yourself in the chat. Say hello to somebody, meet somebody new, drop your LinkedIn profile, let people connect to one another. Let's do that in the chat very quickly. We have a few seconds to get started. So please quickly introduce yourselves in the chat and let's get this party started, like we say.
Quickly.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Okay.
My name is Priscilla Iyari. I'm a brand and marketing communications manager. And over the past 14 years, I have helped build brands across various industries in 16 countries, loved by many. And I am a WIMBIZ associate. I volunteer as a mentor and a member of the membership committee. And so it's an honor to be here today to anchor this wonderful event. It is a September edition of the Associates e-learning webinar. And we have the very distinguished honor of having Dr. Wani here with us today. Before we go ahead, I just want to, are we introducing ourselves? I hope I can't really see the chat, but Motun, please keep me honest. Are people introducing themselves on the chat? Let's meet one another. Let's connect. Let's connect with one another. Okay. All right. So like I said, this is the September edition of the Associate e-learning webinar, and we have Dr. Wani here to share, some good tips and nuggets and practical, steps for us to understand what talent and succession management is for organizational continuity. A lot of times we find that as Africans, we are the in it and be all of our business, of our enterprises without a succession plan. And Dr. Wani's here. She's done it. She's been there, done that, gotten the t-shirt, and she's here today to share some practical tips with us. So please be expectant. Before she starts or while she's speaking, get a notepad, get something to take notes with so that you don't forget. I'll move on very quickly now and invite Ify Okafor. She is my chair. She's the chairperson of the membership committee. Please, let's give some celebration. Let's give some flowers to Mrs. Ify Okafor. Over to you, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hi, it's nice to have you guys here again for yet another e-learning session. And this is one that I'm actually particularly interested in because if you're interested in building legacies, then I think you need to really get that notepad right now because you will take a lot of notes. Our guest today is someone who has built a legacy, and that's not typical to this part of the world. Most of the businesses we have they don't stand beyond the individual. And it's not because of lack of capacity, it's just that it's a skill that needs to be learned. And so, as women who are trying to build legacies, women who are trying to own our space in the world, I think it's very important that you start the way you see your business ending and blooming. And that starts from planning for what happens when you're not there. And so, without much ado, I hand the mic back to Priscilla. Hi, Priscilla. It's lovely to have you here. And I know that Mrs. Mani will do a wonderful job. All right.
Thank you so much, my chair. Thank you for that very brief introduction. Yes, legacy, very important. And I hope we'll have all taken our writing materials. Also be expectant to learn something new today, regardless of how far you've come in your career. So very quickly, I will just introduce our speaker for today. Dr. Kende Wani is a transformational business leader, leadership development coach, and succession management expert with over 35 years of experience across diverse industries, including law, education, and non-for-profit sectors. As a founder and CEO of Meadowhall Group Limited, and the CEO of Meadow Consulting, under her leadership, a single enterprise has blossomed into a thriving group of companies, achieving a remarkable 2,000% increase in revenue, expanding the staff strength to over 500, enduring for over 2 decades. Can we please take a pause here and give Dr. Nwani her flowers. Just drop a flower in the chat right now. Let's celebrate this amazing woman. She's been there, she's done it. I mean, I keep telling people that if you've done something over and over and over again, it means that it's not a fluke, right? It means that there's a science to it, and she's here to teach us that science today. She has some amazing academic credentials, including a doctorate from the University of Leicester and a master's degree from the University of Nottingham. She has honed her expertise through professional certifications in leadership from Stanford and John Maxwell Leadership Program, as well as in entrepreneurship from Harvard Business School. Her areas of expertise encompass leadership development, executive coaching, strategic planning, and change management. Dr. Nwani is renowned for her ability to guide organizations through complex transitions and cultivate strong, effective leaders. She's happily married to Mr. Andy Nwani, her husband of 30 years, and they are blessed with 3 adult children. I want to see those flowers in the chat, people. I want to see those flowers in the chat. Let's give a warm WIMBIZ welcome to Dr. Kehinde Nwani, our facilitator today. She's here to speak to us about how to build legacy, how to build transformational businesses, how to empower leaders and our organizations. Over to you, Dr. Nwani.
All right. Thank you very, very much, Priscilla. Can you hear me?
Yes.
And can you see my screen?
We can see you.
Oh, but you can't see my screen yet.
Not
Okay.
yet, not yet.
Okay, I'm trying to share my screen. All right. Okay, so welcome everybody. Please just give me a minute. I wanted to start this by sharing my screen. Let me go back. Yeah, so good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I'm really excited to be here, to be here this morning here, afternoon or evening there. Thank you for the opportunity, WIMBIZ, to be able to speak to like-minded people. I feel so blessed to be a part of WIMBIZ. It's one of the most amazing organizations I know. I'm also a life member, so shout out to the founders, to the board chair, to me and everyone. It's just amazing to be here today. So I'm going to ask, just quickly, if you're an entrepreneur or a career professional, can you please drop that in the chat? I just want to see, I want to have a feel of the people we have here today. Just put on the chat, professional, entrepreneur, please drop in the chat quickly. Great, great. I can see good. Entrepreneur, professional, entrepreneur. Beautiful. Keep it coming. Yeah, yeah. I can see a lot of entrepreneurs, professionals as well. Fantastic. No, it wasn't. Okay, so amazing. I have a good blend. I open this right. I want to be sure. Can you please see my screen now?
Yes, yes, we can.
All right. Thank you very much. So this is what I hoped for. I wanted really to have a blend of entrepreneurs and career professionals, because there's this myth that when we're talking about succession planning, talent management, it's only for business owners. So I'm very glad that I have some career professionals here as well. So before we go into the business of today, as an educationist, you must do some active learning. When we don't learn, there won't be any deep learning. So we're going to do just a quick activity. And it's this quiz. If you're confident in yourself, I want you to answer this quiz and put the answers on the chat. If you're not, since I can't see your notebook, just put it on your notebook, but I want everybody to quickly partake in this quiz. Are we ready? We don't just, in education, we don't just believe in passive learning. I want us to get, into this and just all be engaged. So the first question, because I'm very mindful of my time, first question is, what do we believe is the primary goal of succession planning? If you know the answer, just put the A, B, C, D, put it in the chat. Which one do you believe the answer is? Can I see? Okay, I'm trying to look at the chat. Yes, yes, yes. Are you answering? Okay. Okay. And I can't even see my chat right now. Yeah, okay, good, good, good. I can see some B, B, B. Okay, we'll see. Someone said D. All right, I've seen D, but I've seen lots of Bs. All right, we'll see the answer soon. The next question is, which of the following is not typically a part of talent management strategy? Is it recruitment, performance management, employee development, or micromanaging? Which one? D. I can see a lot of Ds. Are we sure? Are we sure? Somebody has answered like all the questions. Okay, because of time. Number 3, which of the following is not true about succession planning? It's only necessary for large organizations. It helps develop talents within the organization. Which one is not true? I can see a lot of A's. Okay, if you say so, good. The next one is asking about high potential employee, the meaning of high potential employee. What does it mean? Quickly, what does it mean? C, I've seen C, D, okay, right, all right. Then the next question is asking, which of these is a benefit of effective succession planning? Which of it is a benefit? Yeah, let me see your answers. Which of it is a benefit? C. One said B, some said B, some said C. Okay, all right, we'll see. We'll see, good. Number 6, what is a talent pool in the context of succession planning? What is a talent pool? Very smart class, my people, life members. Great, smart people. Okay, we go to the 7th question. Which of these is not typically, let me see, is not typically a step in creating, oh dear, in creating succession, what's it now? Planning. I'm sure it has not typically a step in creating a succession plan. Yes, please answer. Oh, oops. I've given you the answers. No. Number 8, what does leadership pipeline refer to? When we talk about the leadership pipeline, what does it refer to? I'm going to really rush now. Number 9, which of these is a key challenge in succession planning? Which of them? Yes, go on. And number 10, what is the purpose of a skills gap analysis in talent management? Is it A, B, C, or D? Thank you to all of you that participated, and we go to the answers so you can check, right? Self-assessment. What is the primary goal of succession planning? A lot of people think it's about replacing the owner. The founder has retired or whatever, has stepped down. But it's not. The primary goal is to identify and develop future leaders. Which of the following is not typically part of a talent management strategy? Micromanagement. A lot of us are hold tight. We just cannot trust anybody. That cannot help with talent management. Which of the following is not true about succession planning? People believe it's only for big organizations. forgetting that if the small ones are the most, they need it the most, because they need, once the owner is not there, or maybe one or two people, what's going to happen? So it's so crucial to small businesses, one-man business, you have two people, you have five people, we all need to manage our talent and to plan for succession. What does high potential employee mean? An employee with strong leadership potential, of course. Which of this is a benefit of effective succession planning? Reduced business continuity risks. Most of the time, when we do not plan for succession, our continuity is put at risk. What is a talent pool? In the context of succession planning, a group of identified high potential employees. Which of these is not typically a step in creating succession planning? Ignoring current job performance. Some of us focus so much on potential, but how's the person doing right now? What does leadership pipeline mean? It's that series of development stages that you put people, that you future leaders, you make sure that they are on that pipeline. Balance, which of these is a key challenge in succession planning? Balancing transparency and confidentiality. And the last question, which of what is the purpose of a skills gap analysis? Of course, is to identify areas where employees need development. So how did you do? I hope you got all the answers. Well done, well done, well done. So I'm going to go straight into my presentation. And, you know, when I was preparing for this, I had to cast my mind back. How did I really get interested in succession planning? It was actually during this very traumatic period in the world. About 4 years ago, 2020, 2021, I remember being here in the US, actually. I was preparing for my final exams. That was my PhD exams. So I left home for about 3 weeks to 1 month. I wanted to just be able to get ready for my Viva. We all know how crazy that can be. But that was the height of COVID. And one day, I think it was a Thursday, I heard that on Saturday, the following Saturday, literally 2 days, the borders were going to be shut down in Nigeria. And here was I didn't know what to do. 2 days, we tried to get my ticket, get the children who, you know, at the time was schooling here as well, you know, before Saturday, all the normal flights. And here was I in the US for 6 good months, unplanned. Every time I think back to that period, I thank God for some of the structures I put in place. That is why I'm so passionate about succession planning. And my question, I love people to reflect a lot when I'm training or doing the presentation. My question to you right now is, what would you do if you are caught in that kind of situation, totally unplanned? What would you do? For the entrepreneurs here, for the career professionals here who are leading a team or the other, what would you do? The next thing that's so important, you know, that makes me really interested in this is talent management. I know, in fact, when as a business and a leadership coach, a lot of ladies that I work with, when you ask them what the issues are, they would tell you 2 things. Or what I have noticed about their businesses that really most of the time is the problem is staff attrition. They just cannot retain the staff. Apart from that, there's structuring or lack of structure in their businesses. But today, I'm focusing on staff attrition. They asked, how do I retain? I gave this person some more money, but this person still left and all that. That is a problem that a lot of businesses face. Of course, there are things we can do regarding competition with it. I don't think anybody can compete with the country. When, you know, for example, in education, there was a time the borders were opened for teachers to come into the UK. Of course, there was mass attrition. A lot of people taking the advantage. I know it happened in all the other industries as well. So in a situation like this, what we call jackpot, everybody, you know, the fever, I think is dying down a bit now. What do we do? People have gone. Do you know what then happens when a lot of people leave? They've relocated. What happens is this: a war for talents. Everybody's poaching everybody's stuff. Everybody's fighting for the few good ones left. Because remember, when the UK, for example, opened its borders, the best, they would take the best. They would take your key talents. So the few that decided that, look, I'm not relocating or whatever, what do you do? There is a war for them right now. And we like to say that now. We used to say the customer is king, the customer is king. Guess who is king now? The candidate. It is that staff member. That is the king now. Because they can pick and choose. I have a staff that, you know, for a long time was on maybe about 450,000. And then a school owner who used to be a bank owner offers $1 million for the same person. And I'm thinking, how on earth am I going to match that? The candidate is king now. But guess what? You and I, the entrepreneurs here, we can still remain the king makers. We can still retain the control of our companies, but only through one means. It is only the company, the organization that creates career development opportunities for its employees, where the employees feel that they can make progress. There are many, many advantages for employees, you know, when it comes to succession planning. When there's a succession framework in your organization and they can see a path for themselves, trust me, I'm not saying competing against countries is out, but I'm talking about competing within the country with the competitors in your industry. If you as a company, as an owner, can begin to focus on succession planning, on talent management. I didn't say just people management, managing the key talents you have. If you can begin to focus on it, trust me, the staff is the king, you are the kingmaker, because you would make those people so good that they would not even want to be tempted away by a few, you know, as I said, some people actually increase the money, but people still leave. So how can we be in charge, take back the control? And when I say to a lot of people, you know, it's so funny because people just, they feel, oh, succession, no, that's not my problem now. And I laugh. I laugh because if only they could make the connection, that is the missing link. I just told you what happened when I was locked down, you know, here for 6, oh dear. I'm so sorry. When I was, oh God. What did you say? So sorry, a call came in. I'm just going to quickly share that back. Okay, can you, please let me know if you can see my screen. Just want to be sure.
Yes, we can.
All right, thank you.
Yes, we can.
Right, you know, I just pray this call doesn't come up. So, so it's something that we can take control of again. So the training objectives for today, the training objectives are: 1, by the end of this training, both entrepreneurs in the room and employees, those are the career professionals in the room, on this call, they will gain a deeper understanding of talent and succession management. They're going to recognize its significance for both the organization's success and their own personal growth. A lot of staff, employees, career professionals feel when you're talking about succession planning, it's for the organization. No, it is also for the personal growth of the individual. So I believe that career professionals today will be able to identify career opportunities within the organization's succession framework and understand the necessary steps to prepare for future leadership skills. I noted something here. What is in it for individuals when they focus on succession planning? A lot of times we think it's only for the organization. First of all, as an individual, the career professionals here, when you learn about succession planning, as you're learning about today, you understand the career path. Because when there's a clear career path, why should you stay with a company that focuses on talent management and succession planning? Because when you do that, you would see there's transparency. You understand your potential growth in that company. Your career, it is clear. You go somewhere else where really they just add more money. They're not concerned about succession, putting you on the succession track. So there's that transparency. It is actually a plus. There's a lot of professional development opportunities. There's training, there's mentorship, there's coaching, there's leadership. There's a lot that you will gain from companies that focus on succession planning. Job security. If a staff is very good and on our succession track, even if we have to lay some people off, you can be sure that you'll be the last to go because you're an asset. You are an asset, which is good for career professionals to understand this. You have enhanced recognition and visibility in your company, especially with the leaders. You are known because of, the quality of what you do. There's personal and leadership growth going on. A lot of the time, you're more engaged, you're given more autonomy and things like that. Of course, you get a broader experience, lateral moves within the company and all that. So there's a lot of times we feel, oh, it's only for the owner. No, it's also for you, the career person, which is why this second objective is about you as a career professional, identifying in your organization career opportunities that exist so that you can be part of that succession framework. So today, key concepts from the training objective: talent management and succession planning. I hope you've been able to catch the fact that it is something necessary both for the owner and for the staff. It is something necessary both for the entrepreneur and the career professional. We're going to quickly look at some case studies of successful, effective succession planning. IBM is always a very good example. It's, of course, we know they're into tech, but it's an example of effective succession planning and leadership development. IBM, they are known to be very proactive in terms of succession, managing talent. When the guy, the old CEO, that's the Gartner guy, was going to retire in 2002, they had been grooming a potential replacement for him, a potential person to take over from. They had been grooming that person. That's the Palmisano. They had been, the guy was employed from 1973. He was COO. So they take people from within. They groomed this guy. So it was so smooth. So what are the key strategies there? Long-term planning, leadership development, internal talents are considered first. I'm really being fair because I know I have just 40 minutes. Then Apple is another one. Apple is known as for effective talent and succession management. When the CEO, Steve Jobs, was going to, before he died, was in hospital for quite a while. But before then, Tim Cook, the person that took over for him, joined since 1998. He served as CEO many times, interim CEO, until when Steve Jobs died, automatically he moved on. You can see the power of succession planning, getting people from within. I had a summit in January And I wanted some local examples of succession planning. I called Tony Bakari Saz. She's an example. A company has been there. Her mother started 30, 40 years ago. Funke Fowler Amber or Vivian Fowler is another example. Her mother has started the school years ago, and she came back from the US, to take over her mother's school. And I'm going to use my own system as an example. It is what I've done. Priscilla mentioned it. I will not come and tell you what I've not done. And that is what I'm here to share. So to the glory of God, as a Meadowhall Group is an example. I'm away right now. For most of this, I have not been in the country. But to the glory of God, things are going well. Will they be perfect? No. But if I've had people with me for 20, Meadowhall has been around for about 24 years. Next year will be 24 years. Some of them started with me from scratch. Some of them joined me in their 30s. Today, they're in their 50s. And Nelly said something in January when I had the summit. She said, we as owners must know when it is time to let others shine. If I've poured into people for 20-something years and I can still not pursue any other, what I'm doing right now is a huge passion of mine. Coaching is a huge passion of mine. But I've poured into this, my team. They are my success. They are the people that hold the firm. Of course, thank God for technology. I still hold my meetings. When do you let other people shine? If it is only about you, everything is built around you. For me, that is a huge part of the success that we enjoy today. Some of the key learnings for me would be, I usually promote from within. Yes, there will be instances that you need people from outside, externally. But most of the time, I groom people and I then will put them in positions. And remember, succession plan is not only about the owner. You plan and groom people and put them in positions, critical positions and key roles. Another misconception is succession plan is about the owner. It's not. It's about every key position in your company and every critical role. It can be technology, for example, and you're head of technology. It might not be on a C-suite level, but that role is very important to you. You must plan for succession for that. Our hiring process is very thorough, very, very, very thorough. And we look out during the hiring process for performance and for potential. A lot of times we hire for performance. We do not use all the different things, especially there's so many apps and things you can use now that you will test potential. Transformational leadership is my style. It focuses on developing people, leaders, not followers. We're a professional learning community that has helped us. Extra training for leaders, identification of key roles. I have poured into people. And my people that I've poured into, they are using the Pareto principle, 80-20 rule. They are obligated to also get their own 20 that they are pouring into. That is how we nurture people in the group I run. I give people autonomy a lot. When some of us will empower people, but then you do not release them to function. You are still there. The Lord of the manor, you are there. You must be accessible. You see, leadership is by doing. It's not just teaching, it's by doing. Job rotation and cross functions, these are the ways I've trained my leaders. Action learning, on the job shadowing. These are things that we've done. Now, again, I'm really rushing. Unsuccessful succession planning, we should also look at it. Another tech company, HP, is known, unfortunately, for poor succession planning. Why? Because a lot of times they have frequent changes of CEO. And for each change of CEO, what happens is that there won't be any coherence. In your succession planning, in your leadership development, the vision can begin to be, misinterpreted. There might be a DNA mismatch when you hire. So frequent leadership changes can affect a company. External hiring all the time. All the time. You can't even hit the ground running. You get this person, you train the person before the person settles in. Meanwhile, the reason we don't have people from within, that when you look around, somebody leaves, retires, whatever it is, the departure, and you can't find somebody from within. Do you know why? Because you cannot reap from what you did not sow. When you haven't groomed people from within, of course, when they leave, you have to look for people from outside. And that is what happens. Then there's a clash, of culture, strategy. It affects companies, strategic inconsistencies, and all that. Another unsuccessful story. We all know Darocha. Lagos Native Bank. How many of us are banking with Lagos Native Bank today? It's gone forever. Meanwhile, till today, people know Darocha as the most, wealthy man of the past. What happened? No succession planning. No success. All the companies closed after his death. So I hope that you begin to understand the importance of succession planning. And I'm just going to have what I call a Selah moment. Selah means pause and think. And I want you to think of your organization for a minute, or your role, the team you lead. I purposely put this girl there. As an educationist, I'm going to take the role of an educational psychologist today. And I looked at it and I thought, why are we not used to thinking beyond now? Why? I know there are many things we can talk about, the Maslow's hierarchy of needs and all that, all those things. But if you are in a company right now, you're working there, you are leading, you are owning it, why are you not thinking more about the future? What is the issue? And I looked at it, and you see, I learned that we all have different ways of learning. We call it multiple intelligences. I'm going to play this song. Yeah, if you know it, please just listen to the song. When I listened to it, it just came to my mind, and I thought, this is part of our problem. Please listen to this song. If you know it, don't worry, enjoy it. You are muted, sing along with it. Be muted.
When I was trying, I asked my mother,
what will I be?
Here's what she said. I was I asked
What will I be? Let's say what will be? So you know what, my sisters, what I realized is from when we were young, we have not been taught strategic thinking. This child was asking the mother, what will I be? Will I be rich? Will I be pretty? And the mother's answer was, Sarah, whatever will be, will be. When you think strategically, it's easy for you to make long-term plans. This girl should have been taught about the future, planning for a career, finance, marriage. The teacher did the same thing. What will be, will be. We all focus on now. And the same thing we do with our businesses, with our roles. Honestly, it beats me. That how? Why? We do not reflect beyond now. We're too consumed with now. And that is why when we're talking about succession planning, we all say that it is actually supposed to work with your corporate strategies. It is not an add-on later. As you are starting in fact, when you are starting your company, when you are hiring people, you are hiring with the end in mind. And that is the problem we have. So as part of the reflection, I want you to reflect. Is your Sila moment? Tell me, what's your personal vision? Do you have a personal development plan? Do you have your own mission statement that you look at from time to time? Do you have a vision board? What's your plan? Do you even have any thoughts when you haven't even planned for yourself? How are you going to plan for your organization or the team you lead? Any thoughts about your role? How many people, maybe you went on leave or whatever and came back with ideas for the future of your role? Do you even think about succession? Does it come to your mind? In your role or in your company, whichever one, you're a career professional, but you lead even if it's one person. As an owner, what do you think about? Isn't it money, penny wise, pound foolish, when you have a company, but there's no thought about the future, or it's just at the back of your mind somewhere? Do you ever plan for your exit? Because either when you start a business, you will exit someday, either through retirement, or you sell the company, or you are old and it goes. Are you planning? A lot of times, another thing I've seen is a lot of, especially career professionals, we feel that what we've done, we've put in a lot of hard work. They should appreciate us for that, which they should. But my question is always, please, what were you being paid for? When you negotiated with the company, what was the payment for? It was for hard work. The only thing you can do to put your name forever entrenched in the company you worked for is by grooming a successor. We don't like thinking about succession. Just the wills no, I can't talk about wills. I can't do insurance. Anything that is futuristic, we hate it. Meanwhile, unlike wills and insurance, succession planning has immediate benefits. When I train people, I told you when I was talking in the US, because I groomed people, I trained them, it came in handy for me. When you groom people, they are not going to say, you know what, Dr. Wani, I will use the training later when I become. They use it there and then. It has immediate benefits. A lot of us have an idea. Okay, if the person in ICT leaves, there's Chukudi that can take over. The Chukudi that will take over, is he trained? When you play a football match and you have people on the pitch and you need to have a substitute, is it at that time you are training that substitute? Do you have a strong bench strength, we call it? Honestly, I just pray people get it. Succession planning is critical. There's nothing more important to the long-term success and health of your organization beyond cultivating its future leaders. It focuses on ensuring they are always qualified and prepared individuals ready to step into critical roles. And on this platform today, I have people that should prepare them. And I also have individuals that should be prepared. Are you worthy of being prepared? David Adja of Harvard Business School says, having a succession strategy is as important, if not more important, than your corporate strategy. Okay, I know my vision. I know my value proposition. I know I have my organizational processes, but you do not have a succession plan. It is part of your corporate strategy. So what is succession planning and talent management? Let me take a minute to see. Are we there? Can you just unmute and tell me yes? I want to be sure I'm not.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So what then is succession planning and what is talent management? Both of these concepts focus on getting the right people in place in your organization to achieve your long-term goals. Every organization, every role, every project, every team has a vision. There's a reason why you are doing that thing. Now, succession planning and talent management simply focuses on getting the right people in place to achieve your vision, those long-term goals. So let's define talent management. 3 things are key in talent management. Attracting the right talent, being able to hire them and to retain them. That is your, when you hear talent management, those are the 3 things you're thinking about. How do I get them in? And of course, I think Priscilla mentioned that she's a brand, she's into branding. Honestly, it's the story of the egg and the chicken. Which one came first? Because when your company, organization has a very good reputation, you'll be able to attract good people. So attracting them, being able to hire them and retain them, that is talent management. Getting the best fit for your company. You are not settling. There are people who share the values you have, who you can see have performance and potential. And so when you hire such people, you gather this strong talent pool. Is a pool, a gathering of people that you can, begin to train towards succession. Now, on the other hand, succession planning focuses on 2 things. Out of that talent pool, you identify and prepare certain individuals that stand out, which is why I'm so happy career professionals are here today. Do you stand out? People complain, they didn't see me, they're overlooking me. Are you a star? I say to my staff, no, I will never let a star go, but a star shines. A star will shine. You shine. You shine. And if you're a Christian, Muslim, anybody that's a faith person, if you're not shining, ask the Lord that created you to make you shine, if you're doing the right thing. So talent management focuses on attracting, hiring, and retaining talent. Succession planning focuses on identifying and preparing out of the talent pool those ones who you see can take up future roles. So it focuses on leadership, training people for leadership and filling up critical roles. Talent management, attracting, hiring, retaining. Succession planning, identifying and developing future leaders. So talent management is the foundation that you build succession planning, successful succession on. So when you don't even have the right talent, can you see why I say everything's just all over the place? You don't even have the right people in the first place. You can't then build talent. You can't then build succession, and then you can't retain anybody. And then you say, oh, they are just leaving. Because there's a disconnect between your corporate strategies, your hiring process, and retention, and what you do to retain them. So as I begin to round up, my time is fast, and these are just 6, 7 key elements of talent management, of which succession is part of. Talent acquisition, acquiring the right people, as I mentioned, attracting them, hiring them, the best fit for your organization. Not everybody that is smart, that is good, that excelled in a company will excel in yours. There must be the right fit. So it's during your hiring process that you see. And then when you hire them, your thorough induction and all that. So hiring the right people is where it starts. That's the first thing. When you say, okay, how do I even start this succession management thing? It is, first of all, hiring the right people. You can do it. Even now, if you have the wrong people, you would see how you can do it. Once you have the right team, and it's very easy through your appraisals, I will talk about later, you can begin to weed out those who shouldn't, weed them out, and begin to bring in the right people. And then succession planning is a process that takes about 3 to 5 years. You can see, it takes 3 to 5 years. I have poured into my people for 20 years. Not all of them. Some joined me, a long time ago. You pour into them, you train them. Then you can talk of succession. But the least amount of time is between 3 to 5 years. So once you get this talent, what do? You begin to develop everybody in your company. That is another mistake. You must become a professional learning community where everyone is learning. You, as the owner, you must create a budget for professional development. You must continue to train your staff. And also hold them accountable for their own training as well. Let them bring certificates of training that they've done. Let it be in their file. Everybody must be learning in a professional. They're learning their technical skills. Things are so dynamic these days. Things change so quickly. The next thing, number one, you're training everybody, security men, everybody is being trained. Another training, this is where a lot of us miss it. Okay, so people are getting trained. In fact, most companies, to be honest, people don't get trained. We're just there doing our business, making money. That's why it's not sustainable. It's not working. I said sometimes that people think business is pretend play, like you're just pretending. It's something that we need to take really, really, really seriously. So training, how can you progress? How can you be successful when your people are not training? The next thing that a lot of times we overlook is leadership development for all. I didn't say for a set of people, for all. Leadership is not positional, we know. So there are certain leadership skills that everybody should have. Time management. You don't have to be the organ of the place to know how to manage time. Making ethical, moral decisions, effective communication, emotional intelligence. You don't only need it. All the people in your company, critical thinking, you must all make sure that you ensure that people that you lead in your organization have those basic leadership skills. Now, when these people are doing the right things, right? Everybody is training in their technical area. There's training going on. They're learning, they're upskilling. Then you are teaching everybody about the basic leadership skills, time management, holding them accountable, emotional intelligence, having social emotional competencies. It's 21st century, it's global. Everybody must have it. Then your performance management would kick in, because I'm sure like every 6 months, there's a bit of, you're having some talks with HR, with your line manager. Now in the 21st century, we advise more than appraisals using coaching. Coaching skills with the people you line manage will lead to development rather than just judgment of appraisals. Coaching skills, we always encourage it these days. It's very developmental for people you line manage. So anyway, performance management continues to happen. Now, out of the people, you have this perfect, very good set of talent you are training them. They are also training them in leadership. You are managing their performance. Trust me, some people, you begin to see stars. You begin to see the people who have two key things. Not only do they have performance, they exhibit high potential. They're able to deal with issues. They're able to bring suggestions. You can trust them to implement. Those are the people for succession. They put them on a succession track. And what do you then do with them? The level 3 training begins. Now, specific leadership training starts for those high potential employees. It is inseparable. Succession planning and leadership development. Forget it. So most of the time we treat them in silos. You just training people and their succession is here. No. Whatever you're training is towards succession. They must come together. Now, what are you going to train? These special people, this one's on succession track. Oh, a lot of leadership training, strategic thinking, leadership styles, change management, a lot of deeper things to do with leadership, preparing them for future roles, future leadership roles. A lot of things, training, proper training is just like 10%. A lot of other ways that you train them, the mentoring, spending time with you. My people, I hang out with them. I will call them out, my own, 20%. I pour into them. We hang out. So they're learning from me. They're shadowing me. It's not only they come and sit down and let's be trained. There's a lot to do. You use individual development plans to track their development. We're using competency-based assessments like tests to see how they're progressing. You teach them about networking, you recognition and reward. Of course, you better reward them well. When you are pouring into people, you have to give them something that would also entice them and want them to stay with you. Mentorship, coaching, all those things. So when you've done that, guess what happens? Retention. Retention happens because I'm on a track. You never tell anybody, I'm preparing you to become COO. I'm preparing you to become the head of the HR. No. What you put forward to them is development. I'm developing you, people on the succession track, for a future role when the vacancy arises. And you continue to give them this test, this competency-based assessment, so they don't become complacent. And you have given everybody a level playing ground at the beginning because you've shared this. That's the transparency part. You share this with everybody. This is it. In our company, talent management, succession plan, everybody is the level playing ground. Everybody begins to put in their own effort so that they can get onto that succession track. You are managing those on succession track. Why would you now entice me with 50,000 extra on my money when I become just an ordinary member of your staff? Meanwhile, I'm already on the succession track in the other company. So that will bring retention and engagement. And then when you have your succession, you continue to review talent, continue to review. Other people will come in that are strong. You want them to be on your talent pool. Some of them who are there already, are they keeping it going? Are they relaxing? Are they relaxing? You know, you just continue to manage the talents that you have. Continue to identify existing skill gaps and continue to try and fill them through hiring or training. That is how we use succession management. So I round up. Are we ready to round up? Summary, myths around succession. And I'm hoping you'd have seen that through the course of my presentation, that it applies only to the founders. It is a wrong thing. And top executives. It's a myth. It's to critical roles in your company and key positions, which just happens to include the founder's position or the owner or CEO. It's only needed when someone is retiring. No, it is a process. You would have been training the people, not waiting until somebody is retiring. You do not bring somebody to the field in the match when somebody is injured and then the person is already trained. The current leader should choose their successor. No, it's actually a team. We normally put together a succession planning team, and it's not one person. You are working with a lot of other people. I can't go into all that right now. Once it's done, it doesn't need revisiting. Of course it does. You continue to review your talent reviews and work planning. Succession plan is about replacing people. No, it's about grooming, identify and developing. Identify, develop. It's only for large organizations? Of course not. In fact, small organizations need it more, because if you lose that main person, that's the end. It only benefits the business, not employees. I think I've gone into great lengths to explain to you that it benefits you as an individual, not only the owner. Succession planning creates competition and conflict, not when it is well, established, when it's well done in a company. There's a way to go about it to ensure that it doesn't bring, conflict and all that. So facts, it is an ongoing process, definitely. It's not something that you get to the end of it. It ensures business continuity, of course. It benefits all levels of the organization, of course. It fosters leadership development, of course. It promotes employee engagement and retention. That is what I'm trying to establish today. It helps identify hidden talent, yes. It reduces the risk of reactive decision-making. No, because you are proactive. It must align with your strategic goals. Of course, a lot of them want to do it separately. No, it's part of your strategic goals. It builds organizational resilience. Yes, because unplanned, I was locked down here in the US, unplanned, my company, to the glory of God, is still in existence and waxing strong. It is shared responsibility. And that takes me to the very end of my presentation. I tried as much as so. So I just, before I hand over, I have this QR code. I have this video on succession planning that I would love to share with anybody. Just please take down the link, use the QR code, and just, get it in touch with me. And I can just give you a little bit more about talent management and succession planning. Thank you very much. I hope we have learned one or two things.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Nwani. Ladies, you know how we do it. Please drop some flowers for her in the chat. Let's celebrate her. I can see a lot of people saying thank you so much. This has been so insightful. Thank you so much, Dr. Nwani. I hope you took my advice in the beginning and you took down note. Let me show you. It's in my notebook. So full, right? Yeah, so full. I like how she really dimensioned the session, spoke to career professionals, spoke to entrepreneurs. She said, as a career professional, identify career opportunities in your organization for succession planning. Take ownership, okay? As an entrepreneur, know when to let others shine. Oh my God. I hope you took notes, okay? Succession planning should work with your corporate strategy. Begin with the end in mind.
Absolutely.
Do you have a strong bench strength as an entrepreneur? A leader should be able to replicate him or herself. As a career professional, do you stand out? Are you a star? Talent management includes identifying, attracting, hiring, and retention. Succession planning includes hiring the right people, training and developing them, and then putting them on a succession plan through leadership development.
Beautiful.
Train your staff, every single one of them, including the gatesman. That's a new one. I've never heard it before.
Absolutely.
Okay? As a career professional, take ownership of your own training and development, okay? Don't just wait for your employers to train you. You also take ownership of your training and development. Thank you so much, Dr. Nwani, for that very insightful session. I will crave your indulgence, please, everyone. Let's just take a few minutes. If you have any quick questions, you can unmute yourself and raise your hand and ask. If you have other questions, you can also put them in the Q&A chat. I think we already have a few questions here, so I'll just take maybe 2-3 questions because we're pressed for time. But before we go into the Q&A, I would like to recognize the board chair. She's on this call, Mrs. Bisi Fahim Adeyemi. Thank you so much for joining our board chair. We also have Dr. Celestina Ike, a board member as well. Thank you so much for joining. It's a pleasure to have you here. At some point on this call, we had 164 people who were here to learn. And somebody asked them, HQ, they asked if this recording is going to be shared after the session. Please drop it in the chat if it's going to be shared. Let's know if it's going to be shared. I believe it's recorded for that purpose, but let people know. So Dr. Nwani, 2 questions very quickly. Okay, I would like to also recognize the BOT members. Thank you so much, Board of Trustees. Thank you for your presence here. We don't take it for granted. Thank you so much. Okay, so quick question. How do you know when to allow other people shine? That's the first question. Second question is, what if you don't train them and they stay? Delivery will be, Okay, I don't understand that question. Mutum, could you please help me clarify that second question? But let's start with the first question. How do you know when to allow other people shine?
Okay. I feel that let's look at our children, the way we work with our children. You train them, and then it's time to go. And when it's time to go, you don't hold on, you're not going. I think once you are sure that you have trained, you see, without all those steps that I gave, professional learning community, everybody is learning. You can see they're learning. You are insisting. It's part of your appraisal. It's part of the promotion criteria. If you are not training, they are training. They are maybe whatever they train on, you see them using it in their work. That is going on. You have trained them on leadership. I made that mistake. Let me tell you what happened. I
Mm.
brought in my present head of school, one of our, so it's an educational, we have a group of companies. So the school, one of my schools, I brought in somebody who used to work with me before she traveled. She got married and traveled and left. And then she wanted to come back to Nigeria. And I said, just come back and come and head the school. I had not considered the fact, I'm talking about 10 years or 15 years ago, or whatever. I had not considered the fact that when she was with me, she was a teacher in the UK. She was a teacher, although an amazing teacher. And then she came back as head, and I was trying to hold her, accountable. I just could not understand why she was doing some of the things she was doing. I would say to her, do I lead you like that? Why do you behave like that? Was that? I was so, but looking back, I thought to myself, did I prepare her for leadership?
Mm.
She was a very good teacher. Technical skills, no. When she was in the UK, Ofsted, outstanding all the time. But has she been trained for leadership? No. But I was holding her accountable for that. So when you have done your bit, you begin to, it's like you begin to get yourself wind gradually. It's not once and for all. As I said to you, it's a gradual thing. When I was locked down here, sometimes they will call me, this happened, and I'll say to them, tell me, what do you think we should do? So there's something I teach on his, Aristotle talks about something called practical wisdom. I taught them practical. Aristotle says wisdom is not something that is abstract. It is practical. So I would say, when they send me things, I said, tell me what you think you should do. And that was how I groomed them. So after you've groomed people, get out of their way. Give them autonomy. So that is how you know when to shine. When do you need to let them shine? When you have groomed them, you can see that they are able to cope. You are always going to be, around. They know that you are there for them. But then you test, is like calculated risk. Test, test, test. Then eventually you can let them fly, even though you are still going to be there. But you are now at the back. Your customers might feel you're not there. I am there. I have meetings with both of my heads. In fact, all the heads of subsidiaries, I have weekly meetings with them, but I'm at the back. People believe they're dealing only with those people in front. I'm letting them shine. It's about time. I hope that answered the question.
It does. It really does. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Somebody was asking, the second question was, what happens when you don't train people and they still stay?
Okay.
It says, how does this affect delivery on the job? That's the first question. Second question is, what about succession planning for family businesses?
Okay. Beautiful.
Yes.
Okay. So that second question, it's a real problem. And I had that problem when I started. I remember, I look back and I laugh. You will manage people, you will leave them there, because people say, and she says she's a Christian. She says she's a Christian, as if that is what will help the company that God asked me to set up. So I used to manage people, and then I would now say, okay, you know what? I'll try the person here. The person will go there, but they're like a cancer eating at the fabric of the company because they're not happy. They will not tell everybody what they did that made us move them. They will just make it seem as if, they're so, they're not compassionate, they're not nice, and they say they're Christian and stuff like that. What am I going to advise you? Let your appraisals and your performance management take its course. You will underperform. You will ruin your company if you retain people who are not performing. What are you retaining them for? You just have to make sure that there's a track. There's as I said to you, now we use more of coaching instead of just the almighty appraisal. No, there's coaching now for leadership. Coaching for leadership. So as a leader, those you line manage, you use coaching skills. Coaching is different from mentoring. Also, you're able to work with them. It helps them because the end of coaching is change of behavior of that person. If it's not leading to change your behavior of that person, you haven't failed, you haven't succeeded. So when that person's behavior then changes in line with what you want to see in your organization, you have succeeded. So if you have coached, you have mentored, you've done everything and it's not working, get them out. It will affect your company. So get them out. What do you mean you are training people and they still stay? Are they staying? Are they holding you and say you cannot let us go? You let them go. You let them go. Are you getting the right people? I hope that answers that. Succession planning for family business is an interesting question. I have never been one to think my son or my daughter must. Again, I'm very unashamed about my faith. So if I believe so, I'm so sure that God asked me to do what I'm doing today, and I'm accountable to him. So why would I say no? I'm beginning to maybe I want to pivot. So it must be my son or my daughter. I remember when my daughter was born, she's the last. Somebody said to me, oh, she'll be the one to take over the school. Every time she's here in California, every time in the past, when I would say, oh, so one day she said, who is coming to school? You can't even force them. You can't. So I don't believe in it. Succession planning for family members, I believe in getting the right people in. I am blessed that eventually my son, my first, who studied management, is not nepotism here. He studied management and is interested in, he's not in the school, he's in the group. We have a group of companies. He's not interested in school work. He is part of my succession plan in that regard. For the school aspect, none of my children are interested. My HOS right now, she's like family. She's family to me. She's been so well groomed. So I don't believe it is putting the right policies in place, getting the right fit. Family business or not, get the right fit. Have a good board. Your corporate board must be strong. So that's how I've been running my business. I have people, for the education part, they are not my blood, but I do thankfully have my son who is part of the overall group, and he's there as a COO. I hope that answers the question.
Thank you so much. Yes, it does. Thank you so much, Dr. Nwani. Thank you. Like I told you all earlier, she has been there, done that, gotten the t-shirts. She has done this over and over and over again. And I'm sure you can see from the valuable tips she's been sharing from the beginning of this session. So thank you so much, Dr. Nwani. Do we have any other questions? Do you want to ask any questions live? Please raise your hand and unmute your mic. And let's quickly just take one question from the group. Let's see, does anybody have any questions? If HQ, please let me know. If we don't have any questions, then let's just wrap up. Okay, do we have any questions? Please unmute and ask a question. Okay, I can see a hand, Grace.
Good afternoon. Oh,
Yes,
sorry.
good afternoon.
This is Amuli, this is not Grace. Sorry, I was unable to speak. Hi, good afternoon. My name is Amuli Scott. I am a risk manager in my organization where I work. So the question I want to ask, succession planning sounds so interesting and it's very, very valuable, but how do you deal with the heartbreak that comes with it? Like after you've finished thinking, because after thinking good for your employee, you're not sure where their heart is and where their mind is. You could think good for them. I know some organizations have this fear. So how do you deal with it? Have you ever experienced such? Someone you planned, this is going to be my something, and you trained the person was giving you green light, only for the person to just up and leave you after the years of training and all what you've done for the person. Thank you.
Right. Absolutely. I think we have all faced that. It's definitely a fear. And for a long time, I've had people saying, I won't even train because when I train, they will now go. That is cutting your nose to spite your face. So what do you do? What I believe in doing, I mentioned the talent pool. A pool. A pool is not trickle, a pool. So when you're getting in the right people, good fit for your company. Part of talent management, I said to you, is retaining them. Retaining them has to do a lot with things that would motivate staff. First of all, I will ask you, are you doing those things that will motivate them? How much, one thing that motivates high potential staff is autonomy. How much autonomy did you give them? A lot of us micromanage. You still want to be in charge. You know, I laugh every time. I use this example all the time. People will be at a seminar, and you know, when we are forming, you know, we're the big, hey, my company, they will not even let me rest. And I talk to myself that you have failed, you don't know. Because you are at a training, but you cannot be off your phone because everything surrounds you. No autonomy. So why would they stay? They will not. The weak ones will stay. The high potential, smart people, you will lose them. What are you giving? Are you giving them peanuts? If you are giving them peanuts, why should they not be tempted away? So when you've done these things, you are training, mentoring, they have a relationship with you, you are giving them autonomy, you are giving them what represent the value they bring. Trust me, a lot of times, and your values are aligned, a lot of times you not, except you are relocating to another country. That one, there's no way to stop that. You get? But most of the time, they will stay. People say to me, people have tried to come between me and my leadership team. They will come, they try and tempt them away. Can you come and do training? Is a lie. It's just not possible. I have a relationship with these people. Now, can anybody ever backstab me? Possibly. I have been stabbed before on the back. But then I have a pool. I move on and I leave them in the hands of God. So I can't promise you it will never happen. Have a pool, but also all these things I've talked about. And as you research more about succession planning, put them in place. You will find less people, you know, leaving, less attrition, better retention.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So very quickly, Grace, please ask your question.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good evening.
Okay. My name is Grace. I currently own a cosmetic manufacturing company, and my business will be 9 years next year in January. It's very interesting that I joined this call today because I didn't even plan to join. I have a 4-week-old, so I'm not even online doing anything, but I just saw the email and I said, let me join the call. And this call has been so spot on because I'm currently planning to move to have a change of leadership when my business turns 10. So my business started as one company, but we've now grown into a group of about 4 companies. And since last year, I didn't even know that I was doing succession planning, but I know that I've been training some key team members to take on critical roles because I know that when we turn 10, I want to change leadership, like what's the word? Promote from within, like you said,
yes,
promote my team from within and put them in critical position. So the question I want to ask is 10 years too early to do that? Because I'm someone that it's very I like to research and read what have other people done. I have mentors that I follow to see what they've done, and I've not seen any company that has done something like this early. So I'm wondering, is it too early to have a change of leadership when a business is 10 years old? Is 10 years old too early? Do you think I should still wait and still train them further?
So change of leadership as in you retiring, right?
No, not retiring. So I want to hire, like I said, we started with one company and now we're about 4 companies.
Yeah.
I want to promote some key team members to become managing directors of the individual companies so that I can focus on the overall group management and vision and all of those things. So I want to know, is 10 years old too early to do that?
There's nothing, it's never too early.
Okay.
What you're doing is working on your corporate strategy. You see, again, we try to separate succession planning from organizational goals, corporate strategy. It is all part, they work pari passu. So when you are expanding, the same structure that you used when you were one company will not suffice anymore for a group of companies. So you need to do what you need to do. And what you need to do is, if you have been training people, first of all, train them. Now you might, I don't know what you've been training. If it's just been more of the technical things, begin to add the leadership. They are 2 different things.
Yeah.
Leadership is not technical skill. So make sure that you add that to their training. Put them there. It's always better to hire from within. They have historical knowledge, institutional knowledge. They understand your culture. You have poured into them. You are not starting afresh. It's cheaper for you.
Yes.
Of course, it's always better to hire from within. But if you look back and there's nobody, then you bring somebody from outside and then you begin to train the person. So it's never too soon. You're expanding, the same strategies would not work anymore. But what I've also even said is succession planning starts from day one.
Yes.
From day one, as you're starting your company, the people you're employing, you are thinking, what's the vision? Okay, this company, 5 to 7 years, who will I need? If innovation is part of your vision, well, okay, this person that's come, how good is this person with tech? This person, when I maybe interviewing, did you give them scenarios that can test their potential? You're thinking succession already. So
Yeah.
it's not too early. That's the answer.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So final question. Somebody just asked, can a small business have a talent pool with only 4 employees?
Beautiful. I did say that before because I was ready for those people that say it's only one shop now and I have just one person. I said it before. It is a myth that succession planning is only for big organizations. For small, it is even more critical for small organizations. So there may be 3, 4 of you. Do you know what succession planning looks like for that kind of organization? It is those 3, 4 people working with you. It is cross-training. So they all understand most aspects of the company. Maybe that's not technical. Maybe accounting is technical. So maybe you handle finance. They don't know much about that. But every other is cross-training. So the 3, 4 people you are pouring into them, they know how to do this aspect of the work. They know how to do that aspect. 4 of them are trained. Now your documents, whatever you put in place will be much simpler because they're only 4. But succession planning is necessary even for a company of one shop girl and the owner. That one shop girl is the person trained. If you are stuck in the US like I was for 6 months, but the company continued, that is it. So it does not matter the size of the company. It is preparing those with you, even if it is one, to succeed in that whatever position or role that you want to put them in. I hope that answers the question.
It absolutely does. So I will mimic Answer the Great and say, ladies and ladies and ladies, please let's give a round of applause and drop some flowers. Shout out to Dr. Wani in the comment section, in the chat. Let's celebrate her.
By
It's
the
been
way,
a
if I may say, I actually have a mastermind. I've already, but I'll send it to the group. There's a mastermind on succession planning. In fact, one cohort starts today. It's a 2-month program. It's a full mastermind. I give templates, like everything, handhold you. So please, I don't know. I think I put the QR code. I hope people, so I can let you know about that. I would love to work with people. This is what I love doing. Yeah, training on succession.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I hope we all know that this knowledge we've gotten in just this few minutes today is worth thousands and thousands of dollars. A lot of people pay so much more, go to business, go to learn the things that we've learned here for free today. So let's celebrate Dr. Wani today. Thank you so much for this very insightful session. Thank you for the questions as well. It's been very engaging. I hope we have all learned a thing or two. Like I mentioned earlier, she's spoken to career professionals like myself. She's spoken to entrepreneurs like you. So I hope that you're not just learning, you're going to take action from today. Succession planning can start from day one, is what she said. And day one can start today.
Absolutely.
Thank you all so much. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for that very insightful session. I will just take some announcements and then see if we have some final comments before we go. Again, Thank you for joining this call today, the September edition of the Associate and Life Members e-learning session on succession planning and talent management. Like I showed you, my notebook is full. I'm very grateful to be here today. Please be patient and take a quick evaluation of today's program. The links will be pasted in the chat, so please look out for those links and engage. It's a very quick evaluation. How did it go? What do you think? What can be improved so that we can make these sessions better and better and better for you as we go along? Also, the link will also be sent by email. So if you're not able to catch it in the chat, you can get it in your email. We want your opinion about these sessions. What do you want to hear, in future? What kind of topics would you like to learn? Stuff like that. We're always very happy to hear from you. We kindly ask our associates who are yet to renew their membership to kindly do so. For inquiries, please contact via email membership@wimbiz.org. Please keep your membership dues up to date. Send an email to membership@wimbiz.org. Save the date and join us at the upcoming 23rd annual conference of WIMBIZ on Thursday and Friday, November 17 and 18, 2024. The conference is scheduled to hold on Thursday and Friday. For further details, please send an email to conference@wimbiz.org. You can also check our social media pages for further information. The link is also in the chat as well. I think in addition, if you're able to send an email to conference and see how you can volunteer and give of yourself to this conference. If you've been a part of the conference in the past, you know how enriching it is. So maybe it's the opportunity now to volunteer and to give back to the conference that has served you all these years. Next, we have the WIMBIZ Big Sister program, which is scheduled to hold this September. Every girl deserves the chance to succeed regardless of her circumstances. We're calling on you to join us by supporting the WIMBIZ Big Sister initiative aimed at giving every secondary school girl between the ages of 14 and 18 equal opportunity to succeed. Through the Big Sister program, your donation goes directly towards providing school supplies, mentorship programs, and other essential resources to these girls. The HQ will drop the donation link in the chat. Every contribution, no matter the size, brings us one step closer to empowering a girl and transforming a future. Again, succession planning. We are already career professionals and entrepreneurs in our 30s and 40s and 50s. We need to give back to the generation coming after us. And that is what the Big Sister program is here to do. So please donate towards this initiative and God bless you. To register for upcoming programs, kindly click on the link provided in the chat or visit www.wimbiz.org to register. Also, please follow us across all social media platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Search Women in Management, Business, and Public Service. For Instagram, it is @wimbiz.ng. On Twitter, it is @wimbiz. Thank you all so much. That is all from me. I don't know if HQ has any other contribution. Again, all the links I mentioned are in the chat. So please just click follow WIMBIZ on all social media platforms, register for the conference, pay your membership dues, donate towards the Big Sister program. We are here. See you next time. See you next month for the next the monthly e-learning session for associates and life members. Thank you all so much. It's been an honor to be your host today. My name is Priscilla Iyari, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. They missed pictures.